I'd like to tell you about some success stories and some tips for you today. People are very busy. I find that doctors and therapists are particularly very busy. It's important to follow up with a calendar with the details in regards to things that you've asked people to do or things that you're supposed to do. So again, follow up in the details. Next, never take no for an answer. No means just going to take a little bit longer, and no means getting to yes. I'd like to tell you a story about this. My son needed a therapist. He had a lot of doctors, a lot of therapists, and one therapist, an occupational therapist, had a son who was a newborn, and she just didn't want to work with my son. She gave me a list of names and numbers, which I followed up with, and within a month's time I got back to her and said none of them were available and could she work with my son. She was really reluctant, but I pursued her. I was relentless, and she finally said yes when I said, bring your son, I'll watch your son, you work with my son. And so she did. She worked with him in learning how to dress himself, take a shower, be able to feed himself, and learned how to become mobile in the community. Our relationship in a professional way lasted 8 years, and we're friends to this day. Next, have a plan. It's important to have a plan. You want to know where your child's at, you want to know where they're going. And if you're not sure where they're going, ask a parent who has a child a couple of years older than your own child. What I found helpful is trying to figure out the problems that we were going to go, the developmental stages that we were going to go through, and try to figure out strategies and plans before he got to those bumps in the road. And I was very, very successful with that. Lastly, know in your transition plan where you want to be. For me, I wanted my son to go to college, so I had a plan mapped out. Lastly, one person can make a difference. I made a difference in my son's life, and you can make a difference in your child's life.